bottle and hoping it gets to France on time. With hypnosis, you're faxing them. It's much faster.
Interesting way to describe it.
It's much
so
faster.
basically what? You would listen to something like this and then you would say, I want to stop smoking, or I want to stop drinking,
You don't even have to do
whatever.
that. You don't even have to have a specific goal. Yes, it's nice if you have it. Your higher self will automatically be contacted. You're sending out the bat signal now. You're going to access your higher self. Your higher self will then pump up your energy, and it doesn't matter what the issue is, as long as it's humanly possible. Okay? You will then raise your soul's energy, your immune system, your energy system, the soul energy itself, which controls the emotions, mood levels, etc., which controls the physical. That's psychosomatic medicine. Everything raises up, and therefore, even if you do smoke or you're overeating or depressed, whatever the issues are, you're going to find yourself being less vulnerable, more confident, less susceptible to the victimizations of the earth plane, as I call it. See, my classic patient, has three characteristics. Their self-image is lowered, because they've usually failed in a lot of things, especially dealing with a personal issue, or else they wouldn't be calling me. Number two is they also suffer from what I call self-defeating sequences. This is a term I coined in Past Lives, Future Lives, about how people sabotage themselves. They meet Mr. Wrong, Miss Wrong. They overeat. They are late for appointments that are critical to their promotion in their job or life in general. And then, of course, they're victimized. It could be by other people. It could be somebody who's beating them up. It could be somebody who's just verbally or psychologically abusing them. Or they could be victimized by society sometimes. They're always the one getting the parking ticket or the club place on their car, whatever that's going on, the Denver boot, whatever they call it, you know. Or they simply just allow themselves to always be on the short end of the stick. That's a victimization. Some of it's controllable. Most of it's controllable. It's the way you send out your energy. If you send out positive energy, you don't get victimized. If you send out the negative energy, you're guaranteed to be victimized.
Which sounds very familiar. Isn't that at the root of you reap what you sow? I mean, that's been around for a couple thousand years.
Several, yes. As a matter of fact, it's what goes around comes around is the modern day way of describing that. But that's basically what you send out is what you get. Like attracts like is the old Hermetic expression, which goes back about 3,500 BC minimum. We don't know. So my point is, thoughts are very important, because in soul healing I describe that your mind mentality is very critical. What the superconscious mind tap is, one of the nice things about this, to break this field down to three simple components. You can go through past life regressions and perceive past lives in which you originated a problem or a bad relationship, whatever it may be. You can then do the superconscious mind tap to raise the soul's energy to become immune to the problem, and then you can reverse the time concept and go into the future, field I developed 20 years ago, in which you can perceive the future of this life, how things can work out, what options or paths are out there, and there are more than one, or even future lives. And you can then select your ideal future life or pathway, program that into your life, and make that a reality. In soul healing, there's a case of a woman who saved her mother's life by doing this. She perceived her mother having an undiagnosed severe medical problem. Her mother then went to a physical to go. She was on a weight conducting program in an HMO, and the physical said, "You're fine. You're okay." She was on this program for 10 weeks. The daughter said, "Go back and get some tests." Finally, she did. She had an undiagnosed 3-centimeter kidney stone. She was a surgical risk on her best day, because she was overweight, asthma, many other problems. They had to get her in for emergency surgery, and she's alive today. In fact, I saw her 2 weeks ago. This case was done almost 4 years ago. And she literally saved her mother's life by going into the future. And this is not just wishful thinking. This is a reality. There's a lot of documentation, which we'll discuss when we discuss the Search for Grace case. But what I'm saying is that this is, so you got regression to see things, origins, superconscious mind to build up your immune system, going into the future to custom design your own destiny.
Okay, we only have about a minute or so, and I have about 27 questions, but let me see if I can narrow it a little bit. And that is, given, you know, let's say that as you say, you can see the past, see the future, or whatever. Doesn't that detract from what you're doing now? I mean, isn't the most important thing in life kind of what's happening right now in your experience?
Most important thing in life is empowerment, psychic empowerment. If you don't take charge of your life, you lose. If you can perceive the future and the past and use the superconscious mind tap to raise your current energy level and then be all you can be, you affect the present as well as the future. You can't do much about the past, but you can do a lot about the present, and you can do even more about the future. And if you don't do it, then you're going to have to come back and reincarnate and do it all with interest and penalties, just like not paying your taxes. And to me, get it out of the way now. Procrastination is never indicated in the field of metaphysics or in psychotherapy.
Get it done. All right. Well, I'll have to leave it there for the moment.
Be there or be square.
We'll leave it there for the moment. We're going to take another break, and then we'll be back for more